Great morning. I pulled some cards. I wanted to look at the Idaho for murder suspect and see what's going on in the mind of the father. Now, we know that the mother's in court. She's distraught. She's crying. She's inconsolable with this. But the father drove back. You know, they already had this pre-planned that he would go back for this Christmas thing and drove back with him. So what does he think about what's going on? Well, the overarching card is, of course, not a surprise, about the deaths, about these murders. Okay? So that's what's on his mind with it. At the center of it, we have looking at the actions going forward. What's coming on the horizon? He's looking towards the future proceedings of this. And what I pulled for the thing is full speed ahead and, what's been missed. Has something been missed? Because he wants to hold out hope that, of course, his son is telling him he's innocent. So, did they miss something? Is it, hurry up, get him back there because the son is telling him he's going to be exonerated, okay? So he's looking at this overarching actions above it that are coming down by law and order. And underneath of it, he's having the nightmare mentality with this. Of course, he's inconsolable privately going into it. He blocks this. He doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want to take it in. And the challenge is the stuff that's coming down the pike. This is emotional. And he's just, I don't want to deal with, I don't want to, he is in absolutely disbelief and hoping against hope that his son's telling the truth full speed ahead and that something was missed and he's not the perpetrator, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so what do we have underneath of it? We have looking at the fruitfulness, all the things that are coming to light. What's the actual stuff that's happening? Okay. So he's still wanting to try to be fruitful, helpful in the world to his son. He's suited up, he's armored up, looking at what's coming. Okay. The practicality of what's coming, trying to stay in the practical elements and being viable. He's looking at the new actions coming down, what they're thinking about. He's looking at the long term. What all can this be? And the long term, they're in for it for a long time. Very emotional, of course. Emotions are overrunning with this. And what's coming very rapidly, this stuff is moving fast when it comes to him trying to process, is this, this abuse. Okay? This action, this maybe he's feeling that the strong arm of the law is coming in. It could be he's got doubts about his son. Okay? This abuse of power, the knives, so all of that could play into that mentality of trying to hold out, trying to doesn't want to believe that it was his son that did this, feeling as some things could be an abuse of power. Was it his son that's abusive? Is it the courts that's abusive? What's going on? Looking at all of these elements that are being worked together, and this manipulations and wanting to see these things coming through for justice, okay? So he's wondering if this is being manipulated in some way. And the other end of it could be using all the tools at one's disposal, or also just wishing this would magically go away. Okay? That something's been wrong, and that, something is going to come in. They're going to work together and find something, because this is all the elements. They're working together on this case. These are the practicalities, looking at the practical elements when it comes to the murder, when it came to this, because they were killed with what? Knives, okay? So, again, that we've got at the end, wanting justice, but I think he's wishing he could just make this disappear, okay? He wants to see justice in a way be served, but he wants to definitely not to be his son, okay? So we have all of these elements going, the confusion, the not wanting to take it in, not wanting to believe that, hoping against hope, that it's something else. He's trying to stay viable and in charge and, being able to be not rocked by it, but being a strong force. Of course, they said they're going to support their son because, they don't want to believe it. But they know there's something wrong with him, okay? So what do they think about their son's mental health? Let's pull and just look at that. Do they see that he's really odd? Okay, that he's got this hatred of women, that he's, that he's a bully, that he's, what about looking at his mental health? Well, they know he's very emotional, okay? He's driven by emotions, okay? He is driven by emotions. Okay. We've got this action and he's ruled by emotions. Abundance, gathered and collected, the stuff that's happening in the world. Okay. He's gathered and collected all these things in the world which are ruling him, his emotions, and he wants to be, flesh. He wants to have all these things. He wants to control all these things, but at the center of it, he's ruled by emotions, and that has been his path to date. That has been the way that he walks. He may just walk off a cliff, okay? When it comes to this exchange, when it comes to any kind of a healthy emotional exchange with another, okay, he wants it. He wants to have rulership over that. He wants to have this abundance. He wants to, but the clarification is, it doesn't happen for him. This is his mental undoing. This is what kills him mentally. What kills him mentally is interactions with the opposite sex. And the parents know this. They know he's ruled by emotion. They know this is the way he's been his whole life. This is what he's driven by. They know he wants to be in control, and he wants to have all of these things, okay? He wants to be a person that's flush, that has the things of the world, okay? But for him, it's not happening, okay? It's not happening. He's aggressive with women. He doesn't know how to have a viable relationship, and they know this. Okay, they know this. They have seen him growing up. So while they don't want to believe that he could commit these murders, that it was him, they don't want to take it in. Underneath of it all, they know that this has been his life pattern. At the center of it, he's ruled by emotions. He wants to have these things. He wants to be successful in the world. He wants to have all the worldly stuff. But when it comes to viable, the challenge is in interactions with others, and especially women, it's his undoing, okay? It's his undoing. It's death to him. He cannot do it. He doesn't have the tools for it. And so I don't know how long it's going to take for them to come to this viable realization. But it's there. They've seen him growing up. They know he can be a highly emotional thing underneath this deadpan thing that he's trying to put out there now. That he can have that explosive, mental, driven by these emotions, okay? Driven by these emotions. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here. So that's interesting. Glad I pulled that reading. What do you think? Thanks for tuning in. See you online.